What's up, guys? It's Corey here, 5thgen.ram. Today we're going to be looking at this Baja Designs Mod V2 rear bumper on the truck. So quick little background on this bumper. I've been following Baja Designs for a while now. They make cool stuff for Rams mainly, and so they do front bumpers, rear bumpers, winch mounts, all that kind of stuff. And when they came out with this rear bumper, I saw it when they did the little teaser shots, when it was still just all bare steel, wasn't even installed on a truck yet or anything. And I hit up Baja Designs. I was like, dude, that freaking bumper is sweet. I think it would look really good on my truck. What's the price point looking on these? And he told me he's like $1,350 to $1,550, depending on the options you get. And I was just like, done deal. This thing looks awesome. And so we got to talking. Full disclosure, Baja Designs and I have partnered up, but this review wasn't part of the requirement. This is just something that I want to do because I think this bumper is really sweet, and it seems to have a lot of interest on my Instagram page too. So I wanted to do a video just kind of explaining it, explaining what was done to it, because it has a couple custom touches to it. And I want to show you guys. All right, so ignore how dirty the truck is. I wiped the bumper down for this video, but the truck is still pretty filthy because it just rained. But looking at the side, I freaking love the profile. So when they originally released this bumper, basically this piece down here came out like this and then up. So it stayed like flatter longer. And I actually was talking to them and I was like, hey, is there any way to possibly modify the side of this? And they were like, yeah, let's see what we can do. And so they came out with this new design. I think it looks freaking sweet. And apparently they do too, because they just told me the other day that now this is the official design on them, the official configuration. So if you get one of these bumpers, it's gonna have this exact same side profile. And I think it looks sick too, because it almost gives it like that pre-runner, like dovetail style. I mean, it's freaking clean. Another thing was, hey, I see you guys offer a light kit with this bumper, but I have Baja Designs lights all over the truck. Do you think that we could mount the Baja Designs in here? And they were like, hell yeah, dude. They fabbed up these custom brackets and shipped it out with the bumper. Fits the Baja Designs S2s perfectly in there. This is an S2 Sport with obviously an amber flood lens. This is an S2 Pro with a driving combo lens. The reason I went with clear and amber is because it kind of has a dual function as like a chase light setup and reverse lights. Look at the craftsmanship too. I mean, look at those welds and everything. All the way around the bumper. Those welds are badass. So this bumper actually ships in 3 pieces. So you got this piece, the center piece, and then this piece. So that's why there's the seams here, because you actually bolt those sections of the bumper together. The other thing is they kept this bumper pretty much as tight as you can possibly get. You know, this is about the tightest point right here. There's only about 1 finger width right there. And then also with the tailgate, on these Rams, they get really, really tight. So you can see it is literally as tight as possible. I can barely fit my finger in there. Now, obviously, one thing you'll note, I had the bumper paint matched. As of right now, they're not offering paint matching through them. You can get it either bare steel or you can get it powder coated black like most of the bumpers come. I'll say after having this bumper for about a month now with the paint match, I already have a couple rock chips and it looks sweet. But if I'm being honest, the black powder coat probably is a more durable option. So just think about that when you're making your decision. Are the looks more important to you, or is the durability more important to you? For me, you know, I'm kind of picky with everything, OCD with everything. So for me, I really wanted paint matched, and it turned out good. Had it painted by a guy on Instagram. His account is Pristine Wheels. Without actually having the truck there to match the paint to, he did a pretty good job. I'll say the bumper's slightly brighter than the truck, but also right now the truck is really dirty and the bumper I wiped down, so that plays into it too. But we even came in here and painted The parking bezels and everything, those turned out clean. And I actually had them paint the trailer brake connector as well. And just the overall impression of everything is pretty great. Another thing to note too, this bumper reuses the factory LED or halogen, depending on what model you have, license plate lights too. So those just screw right in there with some hex screws. Obviously this bumper works with the factory tow hitch just fine. It is still compatible with rear tow hooks too. So if you like the style of like the TRX rear tow hooks, not only does Vice Design sell them, but it is compatible with this bumper as well. The lights that they offer with this bumper actually look really, really good. They fit that recess in there perfectly because that's what it was designed for. But if you want to run Baja Designs lights, or even let's say like Diode Dynamics, I think they're called the SSC3 lights that are like the 2-inch pods like this, hit up Vice Design. They can get you a custom bracket for them. There's probably an additional charge with it, but if this is the look that you're going for, it's well worth it. This piece right here normally is open because this is where you stick the tool in to be able to get your spare tire down. Before we painted it, I actually just put a little spare piece of aluminum in here and epoxied that to it and painted that just so there wasn't a hole there because, well, as you can see, I don't have a spare tire. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, that big ass 37 doesn't really fit. And even if I were to freaking scrunch that thing down with like a tie down strap or something like that to try to fit it in between the frame rails, the fact that it's basically a 14-inch wide tire means it hangs down way too low. And it just kind of looks stupid in my opinion. So I decided no spare tire. Right at this moment, I actually have a spare tire in here, but there's no wheel in it or anything. I only run 4 tires mainly because these Toyo tires that I have, this is another 37, they're literally indestructible, it feels like. Just, I mean, the sidewall on these things literally is like probably over an inch thick. I've had nails go into the sidewall before, pulled them out, and never even leaked air. So definitely thumbs up to Toyo on those because those things are beefy as hell. Obviously, these Rams come factory with dual exhaust out the back. I thought with this off-road style rear bumper, this like high clearance bumper, it looked kind of goofy having the exhaust hang down. With this bumper, since it is higher clearance, your exhaust does hang down like in this area, like the top of the tip is like here. So it doesn't hang down a lot, but just in my opinion, it didn't really look right. So I went ahead and got a single pipe. So I'm running the standard pipe into a Carvin muffler and then out to a 2 3/4 inch pipe, just a single pipe that comes down right here. And let me back up. You can hardly tell it's there. I do plan on painting that black just to make it even a little bit more subtle. So when I went to install this thing, I was really shocked for 2 reasons. One, the factory bumper is so freaking light, it's crazy. You think it's like a steel bumper and it would be like kind of heavy duty for a truck, but it feels like a feather. And then this thing, obviously it's heavier, right? This is thicker gauge steel. This thing will freaking protect the truck for sure. But I will say, compared to other off-road bumpers on the market, this thing's light. I guess with everything on it, it's about 58 pounds. So that's totally manageable. It's probably better to do it with a buddy, but it is possible to actually install this just by yourself too. You can see I have 4 parking sensors in the bumper. That's how my truck came stock. If you have 6 though, they also offer the additional 6th plug right there. You just got to specify when you go to order. Last thing too, this bumper actually does work with the Rebels and the TRXs, as well as the standard 1500s like my truck as well. You can see just from any angle, it looks so freaking clean. It made the truck just look so much sportier, in my opinion. Like that desert style sporty, that pre-runner style, you know? It just looks clean. It's high clearance, kind of has that dovetail look, but it doesn't require you to cut any of your bed sides or anything like that. There's no cutting at all involved in it. Literally all you do is just unclip a couple harnesses, undo a couple bolts, slap the new bumper on, and you're good to go. I mean, it really is super easy. I'd say the only thing that just gave me a little bit of trouble, but I'm gonna give you the trick right now to do it so it doesn't confuse you, is when you're putting the trailer pin connector in there, there's metal tabs on the back of it. Take those metal tabs completely out, then put this in there, slide it in there, and then put your tabs back on. Because what's gonna happen is if you leave the metal tabs on here, the bumper itself is thicker than the factory bumper, because this normally just goes in like the plastic on the factory bumper. And so those tabs won't open up enough to hold this in there. Like they won't be able to go in far enough to then click and expand. So take the metal clips off, push this in there, then put the metal clips on, and you'll be good to go. Once I figured that out, once I hit up Vice Design and they told me that, it was super easy. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video too, they have front bumpers as well. They have winch mounts. They have rear like tow recovery hooks too. They're all pretty sweet products. Make sure to hit up the guys at Vice Design. They're actually Canada based, but they offer free shipping to the US and Canada, at least at the time of filming this video. And go get yourself one of their rear bumpers. Tell them I sent you. I don't know if we're gonna do a discount code or anything like that, but tell them I sent you. Make sure to comment below. Tell me if you guys would run this rear bumper. And if you did, would you get it powder coated or paint matched like this? Like always, guys, if you got any info from the video, if you're interested in these products, or you just want to see more of the truck and more of the mods on here, I'm going to be making more YouTube videos. So make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you want to keep up with the build even closer, go to Instagram, 5thgen.ram. And another thing too, I mentioned it in my last video, but I'm gonna keep mentioning it too. Just in time for the holidays, Method Wheels and I decided to partner up and offer you guys 20% off anything on the Method website. So that includes wheels, clothes, accessories, anything, 20% off. Use the link in the description below, fill out your email, your name, and you'll get a code sent straight to you. So until next time, guys, peace.